All right, folks, let's talk sausage. Not just any sausage, but what truly makes a good one. You see, the secret isn't some mystical chant or a special dance performed under a full moon. No, it's all about the ingredients. Think of it this way: your sausage can only be as good as the sum of its parts. Each component, from the meat down to the tiniest pinch of spice, has a critical role to play. Get one thing wrong, use a subpar ingredient, and the whole enterprise can suffer. We're aiming for culinary gold here, not just a tube of mystery meat. So, understanding these building blocks is step one on our journey to sausage enlightenment. It's basic, it's fundamental, it's good eats. Now, what exactly is a sausage? At its core, it's ground meat, usually mixed with fat, salt, and various spices. Often, this mixture is then stuffed into a casing, traditionally made from animal intestines, though nowadays, synthetic casings are common too. But this simple definition belies the incredible diversity of the sausage world. From the spicy chorizo of Spain to the hearty bratwurst of Germany, sausages are a global phenomenon. They represent a brilliant, ancient method of meat preservation, a way to utilize nearly every part of an animal, and a vehicle for delivering incredible, concentrated flavors. It's a culinary workhorse, a testament to human ingenuity in the kitchen. Let's dive into the two main families of sausage: classical and extended. Classical sausages are your purists. They stick to the basics: good quality meat, a proper amount of fat, salt, and a carefully selected blend of spices and herbs. Think of an Italian sausage made with prime pork, fennel, and garlic, or a simple English banger. The emphasis here is on the quality of the primary ingredients, allowing their natural flavors to shine through. There's an honesty to classical sausages. What you see, or rather taste, is what you get. These are the recipes honed over generations, the bedrock of sausage craft. Then, we have the extended sausages. Now, these are a different breed. While they still start with meat and fat, they often incorporate other ingredients, sometimes called binders or extenders. These can include things like soy protein, cereal flours, milk powders, or even added water beyond what's typical for classical styles. The reasons for this can vary. Sometimes it's about achieving a specific texture, like a super smooth frankfurter. Other times, it's about managing costs or creating a product with a lower fat content. This isn't inherently a bad thing, mind you, but it represents a different philosophy in sausage making, often geared towards larger scale production and specific consumer demands. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty, starting with the absolute star of the show: lean meat. This is the protein backbone of your sausage, the very essence that gives it structure, chew, and a significant portion of its flavor. Without high-quality lean meat, your sausage is destined for mediocrity, potentially ending up a sad, greasy, or crumbly affair. The type and cut of meat you choose will profoundly impact the final product. We're talking about the muscle tissue, meticulously trimmed of excessive connective tissue, providing the main substance that holds everything else together. It's the canvas on which all other flavors and textures will be built. So, what kinds of lean meat are we talking about? Pork is undeniably a king in the sausage realm, especially cuts like the shoulder, often called pork butt or Boston butt. This cut offers a fantastic balance of meat and intramuscular fat, contributing both flavor and moisture. But the world of sausage meat extends far beyond the pig. Beef, particularly chuck or brisket, makes for robust, flavorful sausages. Lamb offers a distinct, rich taste, while veal can provide a more delicate profile. And let's not forget poultry. Chicken and turkey sausages are popular for those seeking leaner options, though they require careful formulation to maintain juiciness. Even game meats like venison can be transformed into spectacular sausages. Now let's talk fat. I know, fat has a bad rap in some circles, but in the world of sausage, fat is not the villain. It's a hero. It's a flavor conductor carrying all those lovely aromatic compounds from your spices directly to your palate. Fat is responsible for that delightful juiciness that makes you close your eyes in satisfaction. It's also a key player in texture, preventing your sausage from becoming a dry, dense brick. The right proportion of fat is absolutely critical. Too little and your sausage will be tough and tasteless. Too much and you'll have a greasy mess. We're looking for that perfect balance, usually somewhere between 20 and 30% fat content for many traditional styles. When it comes to the type of fat, animal fats are the traditional go-to. Pork back fat, or fatback, is highly prized in sausage making. Why? Because it has a relatively neutral flavor that doesn't overpower the meat or spices, and it boasts a firm texture, especially when chilled. which makes it grind beautifully without smearing. Beef suet or fat can also be used, though it tends to have a stronger, more distinct flavor and a different melting point. In some modern or specialized sausages, particularly poultry-based or lower-fat varieties, vegetable oils or other fat replacers might be incorporated, but these behave quite differently from animal fats during processing and cooking, impacting the final texture and mouthfeel. Alright, we've covered meat and fat, but what else goes into that perfect link? You might be surprised to learn that water, or often ice, plays a crucial role. Why add water to a perfectly good meat mixture? Well, for several very good reasons. First, water helps to dissolve salt and other curing agents, ensuring they are distributed evenly throughout the meat. This even distribution is key for consistent flavor and preservation. Second, water aids in the creation of a good bind, the sticky matrix that holds the sausage together. It helps the proteins in the meat to swell and become tacky, which is exactly what we want for that classic sausage texture. And why ice specifically? Temperature control, my friends, temperature control. Grinding and mixing meat generates friction, and friction generates heat. If your meat mixture gets too warm, the fat can start to melt and smear. This is bad news. Smeared fat won't incorporate properly, leading to a greasy sausage with a poor texture. Using crushed ice instead of some or all of the added water helps keep the mixture beautifully cold throughout the grinding and mixing process. This protects the fat particles, ensures better protein extraction, and also helps to inhibit the growth of any unwelcome bacteria. So, ice isn't just about hydration, it's a critical processing aid for quality. Now let's talk about an ingredient so fundamental it's almost easy to overlook: salt. Salt, or sodium chloride if we're being scientific, does far more than just make your sausage taste good, though it certainly excels at that. It's a true workhorse. One of its primary historical roles is as a preservative, inhibiting the growth of spoilage bacteria and extending the shelf life of the meat. But just as importantly for sausage structure, salt solubilizes meat proteins, particularly myosin. This process makes the proteins sticky, allowing them to bind together with fat and water to form a stable emulsion, and that characteristic firm, springy texture we love in a good sausage. Then there are the curing agents, most notably sodium nitrite and sometimes sodium nitrate. These ingredients are particularly vital in sausages that are going to be smoked at low temperatures or dried and fermented over long periods. Their number one job is safety. They prevent the growth of the dangerous bacterium Clostridium botulinum, which can cause botulism. That's a big deal. Beyond this critical safety function, nitrites also contribute to the characteristic pinkish-red color we associate with cured meats like ham or salami, and they add a specific tangy flavor note that is part of the traditional cured sausage profile. Their use is carefully regulated to ensure safety while delivering these benefits. Moving on, let's discuss phosphates. Now, phosphates might sound a bit like something out of a chemistry set, and well, they are. But in sausage making, they serve some very useful purposes. Their main talent is increasing the water-holding capacity of the meat. This means they help the sausage retain moisture, especially during cooking, resulting in a juicier, more succulent final product. Nobody wants a dry sausage. Phosphates also improve the binding of meat particles and fat, contributing to a smoother texture and a more stable emulsion. They can also help to reduce shrinkage when the sausage is cooked. Like other additives, their use is regulated, ensuring they're used effectively and safely. Next up, the soul of the sausage: spices and seasonings. This is where the true artistry and regional character of sausages come to shine. Think about it. The pungent kick of black pepper, the earthy notes of sage in a breakfast sausage, the smoky warmth of paprika in chorizo, the sweet anise fragrance of fennel in Italian sausage, or the subtle complexity of nutmeg and mace. The possibilities are virtually limitless. These ingredients don't just add flavor, they contribute aroma and sometimes even color. Whether it's a simple blend or an exotic symphony of herbs and spices, this is what elevates ground meat from mundane to magnificent. Always aim for fresh, high-quality spices for the best impact. In some sausages, particularly those extended varieties we touched on earlier, you might encounter other ingredients often categorized as binders or extenders. These can include things like soy protein concentrate, non-fat dry milk, cereal flours like wheat or rice flour, or various starches. What's their role? Generally, they are there to help bind extra water and fat, which can improve the overall yield and sometimes modify the texture, making it smoother or softer. They can also be used to reduce the overall cost of the sausage formulation, by replacing a portion of the more expensive meat. While not traditional in every sausage style, they serve specific functional purposes in certain products. So as you can clearly see, crafting an excellent sausage is a delicate balancing act, a true symphony of ingredients. The lean meat forms the robust foundation. The fat brings essential flavor and that all-important succulence. Water and ice are not mere fillers, but crucial for processing and texture. Salt and sophisticated curing agents work diligently to ensure both safety and structural integrity. Phosphates can lend a helping hand with moisture retention. And finally, the carefully chosen spices and seasonings conduct the orchestra, delivering the unique personality and unforgettable taste. Each component, meticulously selected and precisely proportioned, collaborates to create a final product that is not only delicious but also stable and perfectly safe to enjoy. Now that's good eats!